just woke up to the sound of the crows crowing and the squirrels squirreling. It's currently 6 a.m. It's 39 degrees. I think that's like 5 Celsius if you're over there on that part of the world. Time for a hot breakfast, and then I'm getting out there. This is a recipe I've been working on. I've taken ground macadamia nuts. I just took regular macadamia nuts and stuck them in a food processor on pulse until they got a little chunky, kind of like the chunks you'd find in chunky peanut butter. And then I just add them to the eggs with a little bit of butter and a little bit of salty seasoning. It's the best. If you're on a keto diet, then you know the benefits of macadamia nuts and the healthy fats that's in them. You also know that eggs are super low in carbs, sometimes almost no carbs, depending on where you read your information from. Combining the two is a great way to do your keto. The eggs are the texture of eggs, but slightly crunchy. It's a weird texture, but it tastes great. The macadamia nuts add a nice flavor to the eggs. I personally think all it needs is butter. I've tried it with hot sauce and it took away from the macadamia nuts. Just add some butter and a little bit of salt and you're good. And also these macadamias are lightly salted, so if you choose lightly salted or salted macadamias, you better consider how much salt you're going to add to that. People always ask me why you got your sunglasses on. Why don't you ever take them off? I just found a group of robins. There's probably like 25 in this group, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. They're here for the winter through the spring. Pretty sure everybody in North America has seen a robin at least once in their life. The ones I found right here are just kicking up the leaves, looking for worms and any other bugs they can find. And if you remember last night or yesterday, I was trying to video and I saw groups of them flying over. Well, that was just a small group. They can actually be in groups from 100,000 to 500,000. The robin gets its name after the English robin. The two birds are nothing alike, not even related one bit, but because they share the similar orangish red breast color, they're both called robins, and robins are thrushes. Pretty cool, check them out. Man, just outside my cabin, house finch, American goldfinch, eastern bluebirds. They're all here for the winter. I spent 2 hours outside the cabin, didn't even leave. Found a red-shouldered hawk. It was just hanging out in a tree, wasn't really doing much. He was just taking a long break. I watched him for a while, and I think I figured out why. He just had lunch. Here we have a wooden bridge, and here we have the guardian of the wooden bridge. You gonna move and let me go by? Oh, you're my buddy from last night. Did you miss in the eye? You gotta get off the trail. Alright, keep backing up. Come on. For me, it's just that one where he's missing the eye over there. All I did was ask him to move and he got out the way. That's the same buddy that I found last night that was chomping on that nutria rat. See, they ain't no threat. Everybody thinks that just because you got Nile crocodiles on TV that American alligators are a threat. American alligators are only a threat when you feed them. Best thing to do is not feed them. Here we are 2 months later, and here's the anhinga, still in the same spot. This is a pied-billed grebe. It's like a tiny little feathered submarine. He can adjust his buoyancy by choosing how much water his feathers will soak up. So he could change like his depth of where he sits in the water by how much water he soaks into his feathers, or she. This bird will dive down and eat crustaceans and little fish and tadpoles and insects if it can find them. The pied-billed grebe was in its own family with another grebe, and that bird, I think Atitlin, I'll have to put it on the screen, I can't remember how to pronounce it. That bird is extinct, so that leaves the pied-billed grebe the only one in its family in existence. There are other grebes, such as the least grebe and things like that, but they're in a different family. As you can see, it's kind of got a thick beak. It uses that beak to smash open crawfish and other crustaceans. This bird will also eat its own feathers, sometimes consuming so much feathers that half of its belly is full of feathers. It also feeds its own feathers to its children. It does this because the feathers will help it form a pellet to regurgitate the harmful bits of crustaceans that the bird shouldn't be passing through his digestive system. Check out the size of this tree I just found. That's my hand. That's the tree. Pretty sure they cut it down for a safety measure because the tree's rotten and they didn't want it falling on people or anything like that. And before anybody says, oh, there's bigger trees in California. Well, this is a pretty big tree. I found it. It's like 3 hours later. I ain't even close to the cabin yet. Making my way back across, and the guardian of the bridge is still here protecting the bridge. Back at the cabin, I just got me a little campfire going because it's getting kind of chilly. It's supposed to drop down to like 39, 40 degrees. I'll put the Celsius up on the screen. Anyways, I'm going to start transferring all the footage and pictures from today's events onto the hard drives, and then I'm just going to do supper and hit the sack, hit the hay, hit the bed, hit the sheets. Just going to hit it. These are called pork South Texas ribeyes. They're just really thick cuts of pork chops, maybe from a different part of the pig or something near there. But that's what they call them at the local grocery store where I get them. So this is what I'm gonna have for supper. Check it out. I just coated them with a little bit of olive oil and seasoned them up, and I'm gonna throw them on the pit directly over the coals for 3 minutes, flip them, another 3 minutes, then go opposite the coals for 4 minutes, and then it's done. That's it. Anything other than that is gonna burn them. And here they are, perfectly cooked. And right here, I also cooked jalapeno cheddar brats. There's no way I'm gonna eat all this, but what the hell, I got leftovers for tomorrow. Perfectly cooked. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching.